In the Bundesliga, it was a good day for Bayern, not such a great day for Borussia Dortmund. Did we see the difference between the two sides today, Janusz?
Yes, in terms of experience, right? I mean, this is typical, I think. Bayern Munich, even if they don't play well, they find a way. Once that goal came in just before halftime, you say to yourself, that's enough. They'll find a way. Whereas Dortmund, of course, if you look at them over the course of the season so far, they're young, they're very inexperienced, right? They're open at times. They lack maybe the sort of leadership that Bayern Munich have. And if you look at Borussia Dortmund, they've already lost 3 games this season. It's early, the losses to Cologne or Augsburg are, you pay the price for that. They've lost to Bayern Munich, of course, as well. So yes, I mean Bayern Munich will find a way amongst all the fixtures that they have, and they certainly have such a deep squad.
31 goals overall for Bayern Munich in 9 match days. 12 of those are Robert Lewandowski's. It should come as no surprise that he's scoring. In fact, one of his teammates this week, Choupo-Moting, who's also played with Neymar and Mbappe, says for him, he's the best finisher in the world and that it's not luck, it's skill with this player. What would you say to that?
Well, where I stand on that, in terms of my countrymen, he's absolutely outstanding, even when not at the top of his game. And he wasn't today. He wasn't necessarily in the Champions League as well. But he saw that one opportunity. He sniffs it out. He puts himself in good spots as well. But he also knows that he can score every which way possible, and that's important because some strikers will know their limitations, won't they? Right? I mean, if you're a poacher, you'll stay in and around 6-yard area or 8 yards away. With him, he'll drift. He'll come outside. Today's goal, we haven't seen too many as of late from distance, but today was perfect. It was always on his mind. I'm Gregor Kobel. I'm trying to think if he could have saved that possibly. I think he got a hand on it. It was a good strike, but one that maybe you say to yourself, Lewandowski or not, I can maybe get that. So look, what else is there to say about Lewandowski? Nothing other than he is the best player in the world this season. And it's unfortunate, once again, that Ballon d'Or is not going to be given. There's very zero doubt, and I'll challenge anybody that will try to tell me otherwise on that. And that's without my bias, right? Because this is not about who's the most talented in the world, but what he's done winning a quadruple with Bayern Munich, how much he's helped Poland, of course, over the years and this season as well. I'm not surprised that Choupo-Moting has said that, although it behooves him to do so, right, as his teammate.
Well, just a couple of goals behind Robert Lewandowski in the Bundesliga scoring charts is Erling Haaland, but he will not want to see back what happened at the end of his game today, where he did have the chance to at least take a point for his side, but he missed a sitter. Pretty uncharacteristic from this young player.
I don't know. I mean, it's going to happen to the best of players, right? It happens to experienced players like Cristiano Ronaldo. It happens to players like Messi. It'll happen to Lewandowski. It has happened to him as well. So yes, because that would have been tying goal. But look at our expectations. It's almost if Erling Haaland doesn't score, we think he's, it's terrible, because what are we going to be talking about? We want to talk about this young player, this machine that scores left and right. Look, even if he scored that goal, he wouldn't have had a great game because, a lot of the Borussia Dortmund didn't have a good game, and he was one of them, neither Sancho or anybody else. Look, they pay the price for that inexperience. If you look at, those young players that we tend to kind of put on the pedestal. Moukoko came in, looked busy, but I mean, are you putting Moukoko in the lineup when they're losing, or would you like to give him the experience when Borussia Dortmund are ahead? So look, Haaland was at fault a little bit, right, on that second goal from the corner. I think he got beaten on the near post there. I think it was Wolf as well. It's going to happen. I think he's going to learn from that. He's going to remember this miss. And I have a feeling it's going to be a positive for him, because he's going to say, well, everything's coming way too easy for me. I always have a smile on my face. And I think sometimes this one's going to sit with him just a little bit, just to say, yeah, I can't take anything for granted. My concentration wasn't there, because, Royce has put it on the platter for him. I mean, how can you not score that from 2-3 yards out? So it happens to players. I'm almost glad a little bit, because it'll allows us to kind of say, you know what, he's human, right? Which of course we all know that he is.
Yeah, obviously, goal scoring machine of late. And we've seen his winning mentality as well. He is still only young. So it's not just on his shoulders. But what about Lucien Favre? Does he get his selections right? Because it seems that Borussia Dortmund are warming up much more in the second halves of game than they are in the first.
Well, again, I don't know. I think to start with, I didn't have a massive, massive problem. But as the game went on, look, Axel Witsel hasn't been himself. Last season, absolutely outstanding. I think he's one of those leaders that I think the young players and Lucien Favre counts on. And so when you put Witsel and Can together in those holding roles, you say to yourself from the beginning, that creativity may not be there, but you're hoping that somebody like Julian Weigl will play well. He hasn't played well. I'm a big fan of his, but I'm starting to doubt him a little bit because it's game after game after game. But within the game, you say to yourself, well, it's 2-1. It's late in the game. You have another youngster. I hate to put pressure on them, but somebody like Jude Bellingham. Now, why would you keep both Witsel and Can in those positions for so long and never utilize a player that, even though he's young, may change that, right? So if you're going to bring the likes of Moukoko and others and Reina, who, by the way, came in and contributed with Moukoko, kind of, good footwork from them before the goal was scored. So I questioned that. In the back, again, Mounier didn't look good. He got injured, I think. Hope he comes back soon. But yeah, Lucien Favre, when things are going well, it's good. But when they're not, he's always struggled with, I think, game management. And sometimes, as you know, last season wasn't great to start with, changed to 3 in the back. Now it's back to 4. I just think that sometimes his read on the game, it may not be there. And I had problems with the fact that both Witsel and Can lasted the entire game in there. Well, I think, in the end, I can't remember, but and Jude Bellingham was on the bench, because I would have been just saying, what's the point of having them there?
Yeah, so the Bundesliga match day ends with a disappointing loss at home for Borussia Dortmund. But as for Bayern Munich, well, they managed to get the win on the road. It looks as though there will still be some twists and turns this season in Germany.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.